Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Master Your Coaching Biz, the podcast. And I have to tell you that I am really excited about today's episode. And I know I say that a lot, but I'm really excited today. We have Sierra Janisse with us, and she is a certified master marketer, and she's a funnel designer. And she's the host of the Free Branded Boss community. So before I get into that, so welcome, Sierra. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I'm so excited for our conversation.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Of course, I am Sierra. I'm really excited to be here because coaches are my people. Although I'm not a coach myself, I am a brand, a web, and funnel designer. So I do all the behind the scenes. I like to call it for coaches as well as service pros. I create funnels, websites, branding, design, all of the pieces that we sometimes feel like are packing up our business to-do lists. I'm the one who comes in with my team and completes all of those so that my wonderful coaching clients, who are coaches themselves, can serve their clients more effectively without worrying about all of those behind the scene pieces. They just get to focus up in their zone of genius.
Yeah, awesome. So the first thing, there's a couple of reasons. I'm really excited because I have not had anybody talking about funnels before. That's number one. Number two, I have just started delving into. I've had simple funnels before that I could create on my own, but towards the end of last year, I started delving into creating a little bit more complex funnels, and I hired somebody to do it. And I actually had a really bad experience with it. And some of my audience will know that because I shared some of it on social media, not too much. I don't like to complain, but it was very disheartening to have that experience. But I'm excited because I want to hear all about it from you, and try to alleviate some fears, not only for myself or for my audience, but also for myself. But also, I know that there's a lot of confusion around funnels, and I have run across that with my coaches, just kind of showing them like simple funnels can get a little bit complicated, but when you really want to build something out, it can become overwhelming and it can look really daunting. So first thing though, explain to our audience, what is a funnel?
Definitely. And I hear you with that, Cheryl. I'm so sorry about your bad experience and the confusion that exists for so many when we get into the world of funnels. We'll talk about that in some ways to alleviate that confusion because there are ways to do that. But I love where we're starting with what is a funnel? A funnel is the journey your ideal people, that's what I call ideal clients. So the journey your ideal people or ideal clients take to get to you. That is it. It doesn't even have to be technology involved. Now, the funnels we'll talk about and some of the tips I'll share today are about how to do funnels online, but this could be as simple as someone hearing you speak at an in-person event, walking up to the stage afterwards, shaking your hand and saying, hey, when's your next cohort? I want to be coached by you. That is a funnel because that person took a journey from hearing you in the audience, walking up to that stage and jumping into your world.
Yeah, I love that. Client journey, I think, is the easiest way to explain it to people. And that's actually the exact wording that I use when I talk about funnels. And like you said, it can be something as simple as that. It could be something as simple as like your opt-in is a funnel, right? Mm-hmm. You have your freebie that you give somebody. They land on your web page or your landing page. They give you their name and their email address. You send them the product or the report or whatever it is. Then you send up some follow-up emails. Then you ask them to get on your calendar if they want to talk about it more. That's a funnel. You took them through knowing very little about you anyway. They'd have to know something to land on your page, but and through to actually meeting you, which is awesome. I love that journey. Okay, so you concentrate mostly on women, right?
I do, yes. I work with male coaches as well, but have a special place in my spot for women. It may be because of the amount of pink on my website, maybe, but that is what I do.
Okay. So tell us what would be like a first step if somebody wanted to create a funnel that's going to bring them in, strong leads.
Definitely. When we're talking funnels, I think it all comes down to that last piece you said, Cheryl, strong leads. We need to have abundant clarity in your brand. And I won't talk too much about this because I know you do so much in teaching your audience on your podcast about this, but if this is the first episode you're listening to, definitely go back and binge all of Cheryl's podcasts so you can get that clarity, direction in your business, where you're going. I do a lot of work with my clients and my audience on that brand research as well, that brand strategy, that brand building. Once you're there, fast forward to, okay, let's do this funnel thing to get those strong leads. I love recommending what you described, Cheryl, of a lead nurture funnel, which is offering something free. I like to call it an awareness offer because it doesn't always have to be free. For simplicity's sake, let's say you offer something free or a freebie. Some people call this a lead magnet. It could be a guide, a checklist, a mini course, a video training. The sky's the limit in what you want to give. But we want to set it up. Here's where the technology comes in so that people on your website or on your social media can put in their name, put in their email in a form, get that free thing, and then be sent a series of automatic emails to you. Now, right when I said that, a lot of our listeners probably were like, the email's sending automatically. First, don't think about that. Please don't think about that. Instead, the most important piece is, what do you want to offer for free to your people?
Yeah. What's going to, and then the important thing about that, and I do talk about the ideal client and really getting to know their language and their wants and their needs and their pain points. But that freebie, that opt-in should be something that solves a problem for them, a small piece of the puzzle, not, you don't want to give away too much, right? You want to give away something that's going to be helpful and useful. That's always the goal. But also that's going to, entice them to want to learn more from you or know more about you.
Exactly. There's a special rule with freebies that is the rule of one, like you said, one problem. And it can't just be one problem focused. It has to be specific and quickly solvable, because as coaches, you help people with such big problems, really important transformational things in different areas of their life. You can't do that in a freebie, right? That's too much. They need to work with you to get that. So you have to think about, what's the easiest quick win I could give my people. That's a small piece of what I do. For example, I have several coaching clients who are in the health and wellness space, and they often break down, what's a core little win that I can give someone to help them feel better instantly? Will their gut issues or their weight loss or their self-esteem be fixed? All the things they help them with in their signature coaching programs? No, but they can start to feel a little better. They can start to see a little wins. They can accomplish something. What's some small little piece that you can give them that quick win? Because here's what I've seen other times: when we give away a really wonderful freebie because we're generous and it's a mini course or a membership or all this, your person who gets that freebie will think in their minds that I need to finish this freebie, like complete it, before I book a call, before I take the next step. And if that's a whole course, mini free course, they're never going to book a call. Like, I still haven't got to this good part. It's not because they don't like you or they don't want to learn more. They think, I got to be a good student. I better complete all this first.
Yeah. That's the absolute truth. Like, if you give them too much, they're going to spend too much time trying to figure that out. And the other thing is overwhelm, right? They're going to spend too much time trying to get it finished. And then also we could potentially overwhelm people. We don't want to do that, right? We want them to come to us, and we're going to help them to do things so they won't be overwhelmed.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Oh, no worries, Cheryl. I was going to say one more piece on the freebie as well that I'd be remiss not to mention is, often when we're thinking, okay, quick win, let me help them the most. Sometimes we have to take a step back. And just like when we think about what are our ideal clients' pain and pleasure points, what is my ideal person thinking? We have to, for the freebie, give them what they want, which may not necessarily be what they need. I'll use my health wellness coach, for example. If you know they need a complete diet revamp to fix their gut microbiome, if your ideal person is not in the problem-aware state that they need to fix their gut microbiome, they may want a freebie more about how to get clear skin, because that's the want that they have right then. Whatever industry you're in, again, think about how would they say it and make sure you name your freebie appropriately.
Yeah. Very good point. Because the other thing is that sometimes, like, even when we create courses and things along those lines, we put in there, we name it what we know they need, and we can't do that because the awareness, like you said, is potentially not there. And so we have to attract them with their language and their awareness already. And then we can throw that in what they need to the course that we create.
Yes.
Okay. So just kind of going back to funnels for beginners. So we talked about opt-in. What else as far as like beginners?
Yes. A big piece of that opt-in, that is the piece that I see missing most after having that awareness offer, that freebie, is you give away an amazing freebie. You're collecting names and emails, which there are a ton of different free platforms that can collect those names and emails for you. Don't pay for anything. There are free things that will do that for you. But then you don't do anything with the names and emails. They get the freebie and there's no follow-up. Now, we all have massive packed inboxes. We know that we're going to forget what's in there, right? That's just human nature in today's modern age. You don't want your people to forget you, though. But you're busy. Do I want you to be emailing your people every single day? No, because you've got a business to run. You've got paying clients to serve. You've got lives to live. We need to have that automated system set up that I call a sales nurture sequence, which is those automatic emails that get sent out. Could be every day, could be every other day, at a timeline you set up so that you are having those touch points or those reminders, that helpful value for people once they get the freebie.
Yeah. And I love that. And I recommend, if just to get started, have 3 emails. One that delivers, one that checks up on what you delivered, see if they have any questions, and one that introduces you and asks them to get on a call with you to learn more about them. If you can start with those 3, you're doing something. Now, if you can do longer, once you start to get into your coaching business a little bit, you can, put that out to 5 or 7 emails, then that's better. But definitely those 3, I think, are doable right in the beginning.
Oh yeah, start small. I've written automated email sequences that are as small as 2 emails to as many that are 40 emails. There is no, you don't have to write 40 emails. Though. Don't do that. I say that to show the extreme, right? And that start small and you can add on more later. Get your email in there saying, hey, just checking in. Hi. Good. Excellent.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So, what is the strategy behind it? So now we kind of have the picture of what it is, but what's the strategy behind it?
Yes, funnel strategy is really all about hospitality. I like to think about a brick and mortar business where you walk into a clothing boutique and you actually walk in the door to go check out the racks and you look at things. If it's a kind of a nicer, more luxury boutique, someone will probably greet you, hopefully, or that they'll have a feel of the room and ambiance. There might be music. You'll notice the smell. And if you're shopping for pleasure, right, all of that is part of how long you stay in the store, because we all have favorite boutiques that we're all thinking of right now, places that we just feel more at home. Your funnel is the exact same way. Someone comes in your door, that's your traffic to your website or to the page that you're showing your freebie on. They walk in the door by giving you their name and email. And then how do you want to greet them? That's the feel of your emails, the tone of your voice. They're getting to know you. You as a person, that's one of the benefits of personal branding, is that you get to be vulnerable and authentic, and they will feel more and more connected to you as they learn more and more about you through those emails. So we're not trying to do anything tricky or like sell them in a weird way. We're honestly just trying to introduce them to you more, to welcome them into your brand or your business, if you will, in an authentic way so they can learn more about you. You'd be shocked at how unusual it is for someone to come at that approach of just, hey, authentically, here's what I do. Here's how I can help you. Here's what I'm excited about, because people will resonate with that. You'll know you've hit the nail on the head because you will get replies to your emails saying, oh my goodness, I love how you shared that. That was so helpful to me, because they're getting all these marketing kind of more spammy, quote unquote, spammy type messages. When someone's sharing authentically, when you are sharing authentically, they're going to be so excited to hear from you.
Yeah. And I do love that. I get replies to my emails a lot, and it makes it worth it, right? It's not like, because sometimes it can feel like you're just putting things out into the void, right? You don't, yeah, especially if it's automated. But if somebody responds back, then you're like, oh, somebody's actually reading this, right? It's helping somebody, or it's making somebody smile, or, whatever the case is. So I do love getting those responses back.
I got an email yesterday. It was so sweet. I send out newsletters typically on Tuesdays with like tips and valuable pieces, stories. And one of my subscribers replied back and said, hey, and she's been on my list for 3 years. I went and checked, and she said, hey, I know I haven't been responding much. I'm just really busy, but I want you to know that these light me up. And you are such a blessing. And I love the help and the value. And I'm over here like crying in my keyboard, like, right? Exactly. Because you feel that wonderful sense of, this is resonating. That's how you know you hit the authenticity perfectly.
Okay. So we talked about the basics of the funnel, and then kind of the strategy behind it. And then for the coaches that are a little bit more experienced, they have their opt-in, they have their nurturing sequence. What would be the next step for that.
Perfect. Your next step would depend on your signature offer. I like to call offers different names and where they fit, because most of us have more than one thing we sell. We may have one thing that we really market, but behind the scenes, you may offer upsells to returning clients, things like that, different types of retainer packages, all that fun stuff with our products and offers. I like to look at which one of those offers do you want to focus on next, because each offer needs its own funnel. For example, do you want to bring in new people who have never worked with you before to a specific offer? Or do you want to look at your previous coaching clients and direct them into an offer, an elevate offer, I call it, that would be perfect for them? That is going to help you determine what funnel piece comes next. To give some ideas to get people's creative juices flowing, this could be a retargeting elevate funnel where you're looking at past clients who maybe have not worked with you before or worked with you in a minimal capacity, and you're specifically reaching out in an automated specific way, but still personalized. We can do that through the wonders of technology, inviting them into this personalized, more private invite that is not publicly available on social media. You're only selling to your specific list or specific past clients into an elevated offer. It could be creating a new freebie, a new lead magnet to bring in new traffic, maybe a new angle, a new want or desire you're seeing people have questions about, to bring them into your signature established offer that you share through the majority of your marketing efforts.
Yeah. And it's funny you said, a new opt-in. So I know that some of my coaches, they get that, how do you have 6, 7 different things, right? And I think that once you start getting used to creating freebies and funnels, and gathering leads, and it becomes more and more important as you grow, that it's important to understand that your ideal client is at different spots of their journey, right? So we can't always meet them in their, at the same spot throughout our business and throughout their lifetime, right? So we have to look at, are there other places where we can meet them? And I think that those opt-ins are a great way to do that. And also there might be ways that, you might reach out on social media, and that's one type of Instagram is one type of opt-in. And then maybe, Facebook or LinkedIn is a different type of opt-in. So you're not going to have just one. You might have one to get started, and that's perfect. But, slowly start adding them as you start to see your ideal client at different stages, or maybe showing up in different places.
Definitely. I would absolutely agree with that. I would also say something to look at that we can tend to overlook because it doesn't have as much of the fun. Again, I'm using my air quotes here. The fun, quote unquote, shininess of making something new is optimization, which is as simple as looking back at those emails and looking at your open rates, your click rates, and your unsubscribe rates. And you'll always have people unsubscribe. That's good. That's great. That means they're not your people, and they're just politely walking back out of your boutique store, right? Totally good when they're leaving. But we want to look and see, is there a spike of unsubscribes any day? Simple fix is you need to spread out your emails. You need to make it, instead of coming the next day, make it come the day after or the next. The reason people would unsubscribe in a spike is not because they don't like you, they don't like your emails. They're, again, feeling like, wait, I haven't consumed the last email yet. This is too much. So simply give them more breathing room, space out your emails more. If your open rates dip low, people aren't opening your email as much any day, you need to change the subject line, add in the personalization, try a different hook, try numbers. I love numbers and subject lines because everyone's got to know, what is that number? 5 ways to achieve this goal, 5 mistakes people are making about this, right? You got to open a number subject line. Then look at your click rate. If your click rate is too low, that means your call to action isn't strong enough, or it's not clear, or people are enticed. If you're saying, hey, book a call with me, change up how you're saying why they should book a call with you. Is it just to chat? What are you going to help them do on that call, right? Change up those pieces through your funnel to see if you can, instead of doing all new work again, improve what you've already got going to make it even better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important also, then I said that, yeah, we want to add things and grow, but also it's important to make sure that, like you said, we're optimizing and we're tweaking when it's necessary, because we don't want to, and to do something and let it go for a while, right? Because sometimes it needs time to take hold, to get some momentum. I know that some people, coaches will try something for a month and they're like, oh, I got to change this, and they'll change it to something else. And no, 3 months, give it at least 3 months before unless you see something wrong with it.
Exactly. I have many clients who, if end result of a funnel isn't quite what they wanted, for example, not as many people book with you as you want to. Well, obviously you want to look back and see why that is. But I've had clients suggest to me, well, we better start over. This email sequence isn't working. And I'm like, well, we can, but let's look at the numbers first. And they'll have amazing open rates, like 60% and higher, which is very high. Normal industry general average, we're looking at like 20% open rates of email. So they'll have 60% people opening their emails. That tells me we're doing something right here. Let's just look at what's inside the emails and see why they aren't booking calls. And we can change that. That's going to save you a lot of time versus starting from scratch again.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Oh, wow. So we are at the end of our time. That went really fast. Thank you so much for all that valuable information, Sierra, and thank you for joining us today. You do have a free gift for our audience?
Oh, of course. Yes. I can't talk about freebies and opt-ins without having my own freebies and opt-ins, right, Cheryl?
Yeah.
I do have a free gift that I would so highly recommend. It is entirely free. It is the 5-day on-demand challenge called My Marketable Magnetism. Now, all this tech pieces, all this funnel build that we're talking about is incredibly important. But first, again, we must have that branding foundation. How are you showing up as a personal brand online? That's what this challenge teaches you for free. It's a drip daily challenge. So it's a quick, snackable, not like one of those courses that you get and then forget about because it takes too long, with daily action items, with personalized support from me. So you're going to want to grab that at makememagnetic, all one word.com.
Awesome. Of course, we'll have the link to that in the show notes, as well as the links to get in contact with Sierra if you guys would like to. And I definitely would suggest that you do that. And again, thank you so much, Sierra. And guys, I hope you took some notes, and if not, re-listen. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a great day.